Good morning. Welcome in. How you doing? It is Tuesday. I think it's October the 27th, if I remember correctly. And of course, I didn't remember correctly. It's October 29th. How about that? I'm going to try and stay in my radio voice all day today, all during the show anyway. Um, so we are going to talk like this and over enunciate everything. And apparently get on the cat's nerves so much they just jump the hell down. Okie dokie. We have a chatter. Good morning. How you doing, Nate? Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. If you want to hop up here, let me know. I'll shoot you a link, okay, bud? Let me. We're sharing links. That's what we're doing. Had to remember myself here. Sharing links, and I'm being overrun by kittens. Go to Rumble. Click the linky. Sir, are you after my string on my shorts here? Can I interest you in one of the ones up here? I would really prefer that you're not, you know, to not have claws around that area of my. Good morning, Thomas. Yeah, anytime, bud. Just let me know if you want to hop up here and sometime with us, and I'll make sure I send you a link. That goes for any of you. I'll put anybody up here as long as you're considerate and remember that we are trying to stay in good graces of YouTube so that we can reach more people, but shit happens, I guess. Okay, we've got to go next to the locals. Who knows what movie that was from, huh? Anybody know that movie? Did I miss Cora coming in? Because I don't have them on my my screen. So if I missed it, I apologize. Welcome into Nate said there he sees Cora and Dave. Oh no, it was Thomas. Maybe Thomas is thinking because they were on Discord that maybe they're in. I don't know. Nope, not the Adams family. Not the Adams family. The opposite of Tampon Tim. How's that for a hint? The opposite of Tampon Tim. Sorry, I'm still sharing links. All right, bud. Give me a second to get all these links shared and stuff, and then we'll iron out what we're doing here. I want to go into a little bit more detail about some of the new format and stuff like that. But good morning, Cal. Welcome in. How are you doing, buddy? Thomas is in and out. Well, that could be a good thing or a bad thing or both at times, I guess. I guess it depends on how she reacts. Dum dum dum. And we're going to. I apologize if I'm not like as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as I normally am. Just I'm not feeling completely well this morning, but I wanted to be out here and hang out with you. I could either lay in bed being miserable, or I can be out here and try and have some fun and carry on and try and feel better. So, good morning, Latoya. How are you this morning? Hopefully you're doing well. Did you do your live stream, Latoya? I'm sorry. I know you said about doing one. I think you said tonight though, but I might have been mistaken. Good morning, Fred.
Morning.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging.
Oh wow. Mr. Thomas made a new post over on local. Oh, I already replied to it. Yay, I'm on top of things. I do try and make sure you get at least some kind of value out of local if you're paying for it. I feel bad enough if you're charging people to fucking be over there. I don't want it to. No, Chris? Okay. You got good news? What's your good news? Please do share with us. I love good news. Where are you at, Mr. Fred?
I am about 52 miles out of Indianapolis.
Nice. Lori would be jealous. She likes it up there. Yeah, give me a couple minutes, Cal. I want to just reiterate a couple things here before we get everybody up here. So I'm going to ask you guys and gals that are in the chat that hang out with us, do us a favor. If you're throughout the day, if you find something that gets your attention and you want to know more about it, you don't want to do all the legwork to it, then write it down, email me, or call me, text me, tell me on Discord, whatever. and let me know what it is, and we will look it up on the show or something along those lines. Well, congratulations, Latoya. That's awesome. Latoya got monetized yesterday. So that's awesome. I'm not one of them people that gets jealous and hates on people for doing well. I want other people to do well. That's part of the mission of what we do. We do try and help others out as we go along because, as it says, rising tides raise all ships, right? Isn't that what it is, Navy boy?
Yep.
I was waiting for that. I got you, boy.
Hey, it's your lie. Tell it like you want to.
Thomas said, say hi to my brother, Fred. He's in Crawfordsville.
Woohoo! I'll get right on that.
Okay, Latoya. In case you need it, I will post my email
I'm
right
going to
there.
I'm going to Fishers, Indiana,
Fishers.
suburb of Indy,
That's just north of Indy, if I remember correctly.
northeast. Yeah, right off the loop.
Uh-huh. So, but now the reason I asked that is because in order to try and keep people from getting bored with us, I'm trying to do this new format where, and it can fluctuate depending on the subject and how, it's perceived. But I'd like to keep topics between 10 to 15 minutes each topic. That way, it keeps moving along, and we need to figure out a way to uh, try and make it more organized so we're not talking all over each other. You know what I mean? So I'm still working on that aspect of it. Thomas said, nice, be careful there, crazy there. They're getting crazy everywhere, Thomas. Katie took and opened the dumpster yesterday afternoon. And I think I was on the phone with Cora when she did it, right? And the next thing I know, I hear this loud bam, and I felt it. Here, Katie used the stick, and when she opened it, she just let it go, so the lid slammed down. I said to Cora, I said, I think they just blew up the township building again. I was about to jump out of bed and run out and look until I realized it was actually Katie. Good morning, Susie. How are you doing? Are you getting ready to go to bed again? Susie's one of our night owls. We have a couple. Mr. Ohana, Chris is one. So, and for the people who contribute, Cal, Fred, Mike. This really shouldn't be that hard for me to remember everybody.
Cora.
Yeah. And, we have a couple other people who pop up every once in a while.
Jay Bowen.
Jay, yeah, Jay's a big one. Well, maybe I need to replace that word big, but he is a Never mind. I already said it. It's out there. Let it go. Take it as you want. Um, but yeah, if you guys and gals wouldn't mind, just keeping an eye out for things that might want to talk about on here, please do that if you want to let me know ahead of time. To our veterans, this is directly, specifically out to you. I want to know what concerns you have that you would like to talk about as a panel. I have a good pool of veterans that we can get on here and just talk. Yeah, it's Fred's headset. It's not. There's nothing we can do about it. So it's all good. Nope. Now what I do? I lost it. Did I lose Fred?
No, I just muted it out so you wanted to hear it.
No, don't worry about it. Fred, turn your headset on, bud.
What is it, echoing?
It's just my loud.
Reverbing?
It's just picking it up. It's where you have to have it up so loud because of your hearing.
I can't adjust the volume on this.
Yeah, I'm not. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right.
All right, bud.
All right.
Just explaining to her what was going on.
I was just trying to be courteous. If it was interrupted, I can bump in and out.
Nope, you're good. So, um, and our Canadian friends, if you guys have stuff you want to talk about, like Trudeau and how we're hoping that you guys vote him out, you can set up panels for that too. So, but yeah, we want to entertain, have fun, but also at the same time still be educational at times, We don't want to be class clowns all the time, even though I was, but Susie said no, Fred. She thought it was her something on her end. She wanted to try and fix it. That's all.
Okay. My apologies.
Well, no apologize, bud. So, alrighty, I am going to link Cal in here, and we're gonna get up to no good. So again, just reiterating, try not to talk over each other, please, and 10 to 15 minutes. So try and condense your facts into thoughts that can be done in that. And damn it, I had another thought and it just ran away. Whiskers, why did you?
Squirrel.
Well, you said squirrel, and there they go running. Okay, Latoya, I will check right here shortly after we're done with the show. Then. So nobody guessed the music from earlier, even with the opposite of Tampon Tim being the clue. So let me do it again for the new people who just came in. Well, if I do that one, it's going to give it away. I forget the notes. I'll just put it. Superman. It was from the Superman movie. Not the cartoon series, but the actual movie with Christopher Reeves. So, see here. First thing I want to touch on today, because I found something out really, really interesting. And I'm going to be changing some stuff in my house to accommodate, to fix this problem. Oh, shit. Sorry, Cal. I forgot that I had sent um, show links out. Give me 1 second to grab it. I do that to them all the time. You need some prednisone, Suzanne. Why aren't you getting some? Oh, I guess Fred dropped out.
There we go.
Welcome in.
Good morning.
Um, 1 second. Sorry, I have to answer this text real quick.
Not a problem.
But yeah. So the one thing that I am going to be doing this week is I'm going to be going through and I'm going to be throwing away all of my seed oils, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I will explain it to you here in a second. I believe, if I remember from our conversations of past, that you also listened to Jimmy Dore.
On occasion, not all the time.
Okay, well,
He's one of those that I regard as having, okay, this guy's got a good opinion sometimes. Other times he's just totally taking out the trash with his voice. But, it's one of those good with the bad things. I respect him for being able to stand up and actually talk, though. Not everybody has the guts. Go ahead.
But he had a doctor on that was explaining first off about solar noon, which is apparently the best time to get out and get your sunlight um, for your body,
Mm-hmm.
which before daylight savings time in the north here is actually 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not actually true noon.
Yeah.
But it's going to change here because of daylight savings time and because we really don't get that much sun over the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But the big takeaway that I got from this was I did not realize that seed oil can contribute to the severity of sunburn that you get. Did you know that?
Didn't know that one, but I know seed oil is generally just not a good idea.
Yeah, so that one caught me off guard. And yeah, he went into a whole bunch of other stuff about how it affects the mitochondria, um, and stuff like that. So I do have the link to the show. Let me go ahead and share that here because I like to share good information with people if it's going to help them with,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
health wise.
Oh, yeah.
We want you all to be happy, healthy, and wise. And we can at least help
Wise
with
ass.
the happy part sometimes, But what in the hell? Must be a trash truck. But I don't look. Speaking of monetization, I'll be honest with you, I don't ever expect to get monetized by YouTube. Just I don't see it happening.
We're too controversial.
What the hell is going on with this one? I can't even pull chat up. Okay, I guess we're gonna close YouTube
I
out.
prefer to use olive oil when I cook.
Yeah, yep. Extra virgin olive oil is what I use when I cook. Just because it's actually been proven to have health issues or health benefits, doesn't cause many issues. Welcome back, Fred.
Howdy, Fred.
So, why is this not letting me get my chat? There, we finally got it. All right. Yay. Thomas says I'm a wise ass. I don't know. I people yell at me for putting myself down. I'm a different. I call myself a whole ass, and that's because sometimes I'm a wise ass, sometimes I'm a dumb ass, and sometimes I'm just not. I'm just an ass. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Susie, you can't get into the doctors, honey? Our doctors up here, um, if they know that you absolutely need them, they'll call them in. So, that was a very nice thing to say, Latoya. Latoya said, no, Thomas, you are a beautiful friend. And Thomas is a good guy. I enjoy talking with Thomas, and Thomas is a wealth of knowledge as well. So we need to do a show and get him up here. He does a lot of ham radio and stuff like that. So yeah, I use butter.
Oh
But
yeah.
sometimes you need an oil. So like if you're baking cakes and stuff like that, to help with floofiness. So, but yeah, you're welcome. There's nothing to thank me for. I just tell the truth.
Use coconut oil.
I've heard mixed things about coconut oil. So I'm not saying
Peanut oils. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say peanut oil is supposed to be okay too.
Okay. But you gotta be careful with peanut oil because of allergies, I guess. The only reason I know to be careful with peanut oil.
Fortunately, I don't have any.
I got plenty. Actually, I got requests for 3 deep fried turkeys for Thanksgiving this year.
Yummy. Nate says his amateur call sign is KF4BMT for anybody out there with an amateur radio. And Thomas says, nice, Nate. His is NOZET.
Mine's OOU812.
Good morning, Cora. Welcome in. How you doing?
Thomas, I need you to get Chris to give you my number or something, because I got some questions about ham radio.
Thursday? Okay, Latoya. If you're on Discord, Latoya, I will send you a link to our Discord, and when you go live or make videos, you can post your videos over there, and And then you can also talk to us whenever you want, not just when we're on here. You can talk to us on the Discord channel. If you buy lard, it has BHT and BHA in it and is known to cause cancer. Yeah, I don't buy lard. And Susie says I have a heart the size of Texas. No, I'm. I guess the best way for me to put it is I feel like I'm empathetic. Um, I've been through shit, so I try to make sure other people don't have to go through shit by themselves. Does that make sense? Um, you know, we'll do some shows where I can share some of my experiences with you and hopefully make a difference and help people to not feel like they're alone in certain situations and hopefully make them feel a little bit better about their situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that I hated the most when I was going through shit was I felt like I was going through it by myself, that nobody else knew what I was going through. So, off to get dressed but listening. Well, you know, I'm sure there's a bunch of people up here who would pay for that. She's gonna smack the shit out of me when she gets back. You know that, right? Nate says I didn't know you were a ham radio operator, Thomas. That's awesome. I got my license when I was 14, back when they actually had tech plus novice, no co-tech, etc. Nice. Yeah, we're working on. There's a bunch of information under survival, I think it is. Thomas, is that where we put it? Well, where you put it, Thomas put a bunch of videos and stuff in there. So if you're looking to get into novice radio, ham radio, and all that stuff, there's a lot of information on there for you. So she said, not with my old ass. Yeah, they would. Trust me. I know people who are into the older women. So you guys are all wound the hell up this morning, ain't you? Let me see. You and Penny, huh?
Anyway, I was going to say regarding lard, Cora, you can buy lard without BHA and BHT, and humans used it for literally thousands of years to cook absolutely everything. So if you can find it without those additive ingredients, it should be not just more than fine, but a lot better for you than just about anything else. Uh, I mean, thousands of years of human evolution can't be wrong.
No, she's not. Corey uses lard. She renders her own down.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like I said, as long as you can get it without those two additive chemicals, you should be okay. And yeah, BHA and BHT are banned in the European Union because of cancer risks.
As they should
So,
be.
yeah.
Here, Latoya. There's Thomas's channel. You can go check him out, and he's got some good information over there. That's for anybody else who wants to go look at it too. So, but let me think here. I did see some other shit I wanted to talk about, and I can't think about it. I'll tell you when it happens. Oh, I am posting a series by, what's his name? Chuck Holton. He does a show on YouTube called The Hot Zone with Chuck Holton, where he goes to different combat zones. He has a guy on his channel with him talking about, it's called Overreach. Is the government use talking about the directive from the DOD about using lethal force against American citizens. Chuck had it wrong. He was telling people they didn't need to be leery of it. Um, so this guy Tim that he deals with all the time, who is ex DOD, intelligence, told him, yeah, they do need to worry about it. So they did a show together. Where he's going over all the shit that's in the new release that Chuck missed. So I'm posting those links to those videos on Discord. Cal, I'll send you them in PM so you can check them out. But that's a big thing because we need to be informed as to what our government's up to. So much shit has come out about especially FISA court abuses. The FBI lying to the FISA court to get warrants to spy on people without, with proper probable cause. So, we should not blindly trust the government is the best way I can put it. So there's that. Thomas says, hopefully RFK will ban that stuff. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that they go completely fucking nuts on Monsanto and ban all that shit. I believe Monsanto's modified grains and all that shit are also hurting the American people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why we've been allowing the government to let them get away with this shit for so long.
Well,
Thomas,
they managed.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Thomas. What Thomas is saying is more important.
Because you're saying
No.
what you're talking
Thomas.
about on topic.
No. Thomas is on topic too.
Thomas says DOD doesn't have the authority to change use of force against citizens, and they did it anyway. I'm surprised it hasn't been challenged in court. I'm sure it will be. You just have to. There's so many other things that they're suing the government over because of the overreach. They're going after the Department of Justice for all kinds of stuff. So I mean, once they get to it, I'm sure it'll go through. Especially Ken Paxton down there in Texas. I don't know, forgive me, the name of the AG for Tennessee, but they've been going after people. Missouri, I know that.
Josh Hawley from Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, but the AG there, especially the lady who wants to be AG now in Missouri that's running, she wants to tear shit up. She was on Tim Pool a little while back, and she actually said something to where Tim had to pull the show down and delete it off of YouTube.
Yep.
So, yeah, she's a little firecracker. She's kind of cute too.
Doesn't
I'm
hurt.
sorry. No, go ahead, Cal.
No, I was going to say the AG for Missouri is Josh Hawley, but I was going to say that Thomas
was a senator.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a
I
senator.
keep hearing Josh Hawley and Missouri together. I guess I got the two conflicted. My bad. But I was going to say regarding Thomas's comment, if certain courts maintain the way that they do things and have been doing things over the last several years, wager that if you get the wrong judge, he's going to say, well, you have no standing. You haven't been shot by a uniformed soldier yet. No standing, goodbye. Or, you need to take this up in a military court or some other pass the buck nonsense bullshit. Yeah, exactly. I was talking about that about a week or more ago when this first came out, that this is a violation of posse comitatus. Oh, thank you, Latoya. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, it's a violation of the Posse Comitatus Act to order active duty troops to do literally anything inside the country. Now, I'm sure for extant massive emergencies, like, well, of course, in the event of invasion, unlikely as that would ever be after 1812, after an invasion, yes, obviously federal troops will be running around doing things. In the event of a civil war, of course, federal troops will be running around and doing things, just because, it's an emergency and shit needs to get done. But if we're talking about a situation where it's not a civil war, where it's not a invasion sort of situation, then obviously, federal troops really should not be used inside the country, because the Posse Comitatus Act, they certainly should not be used against American citizens. And another thing that's sometimes overlooked is if they're ever placed inside of your home for any reason, for any extent.
Quartering law.
Yeah, Third Amendment Constitution. Yep. Now, some people also argue that having police troops inside of your house is a Third Amendment violation.
Morning, Jay. Welcome in, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Jay.
Says he's listening.
Good to see you, buddy.
Gotta go soon.
Yeah, he's got kids to take care of. I disagree on the police part because it's mostly people saying, well, I don't want a SWAT team set up in my house. That's a police emergency. That's completely different than a military emergency. Police are not military. So that's more of a civil matter between you and the city. I believe under a lot of different situations, you can simply refuse to let the police into your house. And then they can make, your life a living hell. Yeah, well, as long as they don't have a warrant, then they can make your life a living hell. But if dude across the street has his wife and kids held hostage at gunpoint, it would be in your best interest to politely allow the police inside and assist them in maybe moving a couple of pieces of furniture so they can set up a sniper so your neighbor doesn't murder his family. That's called being a good neighbor.
You don't want to be the person known as the fucker who sat there and said, no, you can't come in my house and save those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plastered
them bitches all over the news. I want everybody to know what kind of people they are.
They're being a bad neighbor, according to Mr. Rogers. But yeah, no, that's different. But when it comes, I met him when I was a little kid.
Nice.
Really awesome guy. I mean, he's one of those people, you step into his presence and you just feel lighter. I really can't describe it unless anybody out there, if you have met a holy man or holy woman who truly has the light inside them, you step into their presence without even having to say a word and you just feel it exuding off of them in waves. That is the same feeling this man had. You just feel completely at peace. You're safe. But yeah, no, the whole order is illegal. It's illegal on its face. But Austin, like I was saying, did this for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I'm sure that his puppet masters told him to write it. Austin, however, is one of those that is not really a true believer. He is more out for Austin. He's out for himself. So he wrote the order, but at the same time, hopefully Trump wins. But should that happen, he can go to Trump and say, look, I did what my masters told me to do, but I didn't actually deploy federal troops against American citizens after, your election was secured and all that sort of thing, even though I could have, or I may have been ordered to, or whatever. I dissented. I followed along up to the point of my conscience, and I didn't go any further. Please don't throw me in jail. Whereas if Kamala, for some reason, manages to win and somehow 665 billion votes come in for her at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they all get counted in 2 minutes, and the blue line shoots straight up into the stratosphere, then he can go to his puppet masters and say, "See, master, I did exactly what you told me to, and I deployed federal troops against those naughty so-called patriots." This is Austin looking out for Austin. And it's going to depend real hard on just how far it goes. On its face, yes, it's illegal. I'd like to see them actually use it in any way, shape, or form. The second they do, obviously it's going to get challenged in court under the Posse Comitatus Act. But also, Austin himself is going to become a target. He is going to have a giant red target painted on his back, along with the division.
Red target on his back already. He's already proved that he's incompetent and shouldn't be in charge.
Oh yeah. I mean a different kind of target, and that'll be along with the division or corps commander that authorizes. Well, I don't want to make such suggestions on YouTube.
No, I'm not.
They might naughty boy us again.
They might. Somebody might walk up with a Sharpie and just kind of dot him in the forehead.
Oh, that'd be funny. But no, it'll be along with the division or corps commander, the superior general, who then receives the order from Austin. If they go along with it for any reason, they'll be the next one, on the chopping block. Now, the culture of the military being what it is, from what I know from everybody that's been in, but especially with the new military, the woke military that we've had for, that's been worked in literally since Obama was in office. Took a pause during Trump's term, but they've been pushing hard to get rid of people that they believe would be a threat to the regime. Very, very hard. And they've been trying to get as many regime loyalists into uniform as they possibly can, or at least ones that are dumb enough not to recognize what an illegal order is. So, to an extent, when you get down to, say, the most junior officers and the most junior enlisted, I don't see a lot of them being able to refuse those orders because they wouldn't understand just that it's a truly illegal order under federal law. But, you show them the DOD memorandum or the DOD set of orders and say, we now have authorization to do this, even though legally they don't. A lot of them are just going to be, I hate to say it this way, dumb or naive enough, or even they'll be true believers and they'll say, oh, hey, we've got our little thingy that says it's okay. Let's go commit war crimes. Hell, they've been trying to get rid of NCOs that they think would be a problem, and mid-grade field officers, captains and majors as well. So the accountability, I would say, just because of that, would stop in the officer ranks probably at lieutenant colonel. Anybody of the rank of colonel, lieutenant colonel, or above would bear like direct responsibility. Like we can point to them and say, you fucked us. And then
Thomas heard he was told the White House to change it, which I wouldn't doubt that either.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that either. And then the enlisted ranks, I'd say E7 and above would probably be the only ones that could really be held accountable, because anything below that, they've been working so very, very hard to get regime loyalists and morons into those ranks so that they can, if they ever actually have to do something like this, they'll have people in place that won't be able to stand up and say, hey, this order is completely illegal. I refuse to shoot American citizens. Because, for the longest time, literally ever since I've been on the internet, which is going on 25 years. It'll be 25 years this December that I've been on the internet. Everybody has always said, oh, if the government ever goes too crazy, the military will back us up. Well, that may have been true a while ago, but today with so many wokies in the military, and so many of them filling up as many positions as possible. Let's not forget that there was a Army bird colonel that took a nice photo of himself in his Class A uniform wearing a dog mask. One of those puppy bondage mask things.
All
For
right,
God's
Thomas and
sakes.
Jay, be safe and have a great day,
Yeah.
y'all.
You too, Jay. You got to go. You take care, buddy. I'll see you later. We had a full-on bird colonel wearing a dog mask in a public photo. They're everywhere. They are all, the degenerates and the wokies are all throughout the military, and a lot of them got some secrets or another, besides the usual ones of who's swapping wives tonight.
Seem to know an awful lot about that, Cal.
I wish I did. Mrs. Cal was incredibly loyal. If a woman so much as got within 6 feet of me, she gave them the evil eye. Even her trusted friends, she just basically, I was sitting next to her and no one else. She was very protective of me, which made me feel very good. Anyway, but what I'm saying is that there are a lot of people in the military now versus 24 years ago that have a lot of things to protect. They have a lot of reasons that they would follow this order and then point to the order and say, oh, we thought we were authorized to do so. I didn't understand I was violating federal law, or that this law superseded this law, or, and I didn't house my soldiers in anybody's private home, so I wasn't violating the Constitution. Not quite, anyway, and if a mess ever happened and we came out on top and decided to put these fuckers on trial for whatever bullshit they decide to do, they know they're probably cooked anyway. And even if it ends with a 50-50 sort of settlement, the country stays together, things kind of just resume the status quo as they were before, status quo antebellum, as they say. They realize that they're probably going to be put on trial. Some of them are probably going to be sacrificed, just to keep the peace. But the rest of them will just get away with it. And it's all who you know. Which senators are you friends with? Which Congress critters, do you go golfing with? Is who's going to get. There's the accountability factor for senior command is going to be very low once the bullets stop flying, and they realize this. So, and they're banking on this too. So a lot of them, if the order ever does get used in whatever shape or form, they have at least some belief, some reassurance that they aren't going to face any real punishment for it. They might get reduced in rank by a grade. They might get a little black asterisk next to their name saying don't promote them for a while, or maybe force them to retire at this rank. But, they'll be fine with that as long as they don't go to jail. It'll look at it as essentially a slap on the wrist.
All I know is I'm prepped. I'm as ready as I'm going to get, and I don't worry about shit that hasn't happened yet. So next subject.
What you got, Chris?
Looking here. Hold on.
Well, if you don't, I got something completely different.
I'm having technical difficulties with my phone at the moment. There we go. Now we go. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to bring up regarding things that cause cancer. I don't know how many here know that when sarsaparilla root was banned as a cancer-causing material, exactly what they did to do that. Essentially, what the FDA did is they decided somebody had it out for sarsaparilla root. I don't know who it was. There were a couple of different scientists involved in this, a couple of different officials. So I can't point the finger at exactly one party. Some of the records just aren't available for easy access. But essentially, they set out one day to say, you know what, we're going to prove just how powerful we are. We're going to pick the most innocuous thing that has been used for a very long time for various low-end medicinal needs, and we're going to get it banned. So they took on sarsaparilla root. First they went through the usual process of concentrating it and injecting it into mice. It didn't do anything. Then they hyperconcentrated it, injected it into mice. Still didn't really do anything. What they ended up doing is they had to wash the root in diesel fuel multiple times, hyperconcentrate it, and then inject it into mice in order for it to start causing cancer in the mice. Now, when I say hyperconcentrating it, I mean that, first of all, just to reach the dosage level that the mice were getting, a person would have to consume something like 200 gallons of high dose root beer, with lots of root in it, lots of root in it, 200 gallons a month. That's not even adding in the fact that they washed it through diesel fuel before injecting this chemical straight into the mice. So the study itself,
I'm sure they got paid off to do it that way
Oh,
because they wanted it, you know. Our government disgusts me.
yeah,
Love my
but
country, hate my government.
yeah, but that's the reason why the root was banned in the first place, is because they did this bogus study. So when they say things cause cancer, I do my own research. Now, obviously, BHA and BHT, they've been known as a cancer-causing substance for a while, or at least possibly increased risk of cancer. Other things that they say may cause cancer, well, I don't know about that sometimes. Because at least lately, doing the opposite of what the government tells you, like, taking horse medicine during the last outbreak of major coof, as it were, about 4 years ago. Well, taking that ivermectin certainly seemed to help a lot of people, even if they were literally eating horse paste.
Well, here's the thing.
It also comes in pills, but doctors
Well, yeah.
weren't allowed to prescribe it.
Do you watch John Campbell?
I do not.
I do.
Dr. John Campbell is a doctorate nurse over in the UK.
Oh, that guy.
Very,
I
very
was thinking
smart
of something
man.
else. Yes. I started watching him when the coof came around. Go ahead.
Yes. Did you see the episode where he compared ivermectin to that new
Remdesivir.
Yeah.
That's it. Did you by chance catch that one?
I may have. I don't recall. All I know is that remdesivir, that shit ain't good.
Well,
No, if you're on that more than 3 to 5 days, then it starts shutting down your organs. And that's why a lot of people crossed over, let's say, because they'd throw them on a vent and pump them full of that, and then they blamed it on COVID, but it wasn't that did it.
Yeah.
Probably just got us thrown off YouTube for a couple weeks.
You said the cursed word.
Here's the thing. They both do the same thing. In
what?
Theory, remdesivir and ivermectin both do the exact same thing in theory, but ivermectin actually does it better according to the studies that were shown,
and cheaper.
And that's the thing right there. It came down to money. They couldn't make money off of ivermectin, so that's why they made this push. That's why, all these corporations are captured by Big Pharma. Big Pharma spends billions of dollars a year just in funding for advertising, and you see it all over the news, everywhere. And I mean, Matt Orfala has a video where it just shows all brought to you by Pfizer, all the different newscasts where it says that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's ridiculous, and we need to get that. We need to get Big Pharma out of the fucking funding of all this shit. We need to get private citizens out of funding all this shit. The only people that should be funding the fucking CDC and FDA and all them is the government. That's it. Our tax dollars should pay to fund that, and they should fucking work for us. They should be accountable to us.
They're not. The government's not accountable to us. They do what they want to do. We're being taxed without representation. We're being overtaxed. We're being well. Good luck with that.
Dave got to today. Okay,
Oh,
so I did find something to talk about. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say the link you sent me,
Yeah.
the Kentucky
So-
link. Go ahead.
I just came across this. Well, first off, before that, good news
Squirrel.
for the day. Good news for the day. Steve Bannon has been released from prison. After
Yes,
serving his 4
I know.
months.
Good deal.
Can't wait for the next war room.
So, yeah. So there's that. Give you some good news. I'm going to give you some fucked up news. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
Ready.
People opt out of organ donation programs after reports of a man mistakenly declared dead.
Oh, it wasn't a mistake.
Somebody
wasn't a mistake.
had a friend that needed something, and they took and made sure this guy gave it to him. Is what it comes down to, in my opinion. We've seen it happen before.
Yep.
Sadly, people will get desperate to try and help their friends, and
Yeah, friends
make
with money.
unethical decisions. So,
Well, I'm an organ donor, but I don't have the arm ticket either.
Yeah.
But if I needed an organ from somebody, that would be the first question I'd ask. They get the arm ticket? Because I don't want that shit in me.
Same with a blood transfusion.
Yep.
I think anyone who got it should be disbarred from donating blood or organs, in my honest opinion, because there's too much that we still don't know about what's going to happen in the future with it. Nate said that's been going on forever. That's why you never get organ donor on your license. I can't donate because of the shit that I'm on, so it doesn't matter for me. They would never, with as long as I've been on oxycodone, morphine, and those types of drugs, they would never let me donate, even if I go off of them now. Just because of the damage that's been done to my system from said drugs. But yeah,
You gotta start growing you some wild lettuce.
I've got it everywhere here. It
See, I'm a
grows
pure
naturally,
blood.
thankfully.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'm a pure blood, so I'm more than willing to donate blood to anybody that needs it. By the way, I'm an A positive, for those of you who are wondering. That's the only thing I've ever earned an A plus on, my dad always used to say, which isn't quite true. But anyway, I'm an A positive. I'm pure blood. I don't mind donating blood. But especially me right now, I don't have anybody. I do not have any legal relatives. So if for some reason I ended up in a car accident, and even if I could possibly afford the medical bills, I don't have anybody advocating for me. None. So I am of the perfect position to be, let's say, harvested for my spare parts, instead of properly treated.
Hell, they're gonna put every kind of tube in every kind of orifice and make holes in you to keep you sustained without all that paperwork.
Yeah.
Tamara says, do you have enough lap for that many cats?
Oh,
Tamara
he does. He does.
This is not all of them. We had all of them on here the other day, all 11, I think it was. 12. So, yeah. They pile on top and make room for each other a lot of times.
But yeah, I won't fill out the organ donor thing on my driver's license because I know that I am at risk for being, let's say, medically harvested. Now, on the other hand, if a friend needed a kidney, I've got 2, I'm fine. Or they needed some liver, I've got plenty of liver. I never drink, so it's going to be nice and pink, or brown or whatever. I will donate privately, but I will not fill out organ donor on my driver's license because I know I'm at risk for that. And I've known about this for a very long time because of my mother-in-law, having been a nurse. She's seen what she considers a couple of questionable harvests, but she wasn't directly involved with the patient care, so she can't say honestly, but it's always made her leery of doing that. So once she realized that shit may actually be happening, she stopped filling out organ donor on her driver's license, and now she's on so many meds that she couldn't really safely donate organs herself. Now, if I found out I was dying of some like terminal brain disease that didn't affect my organs, and I knew that it's going to be the end one way or another, then I would fill out organ donor paperwork. Why? Because in that sort of a situation, it doesn't really matter, if I get into an accident or whatever, I end up in a hospital. I'm looking at the end anyway. I may as well do something good with it as a final act. But, as long as I'm reasonably healthy, I'm not going to be filling that out. Because, like I said, I don't have anybody to advocate for me. So if some shit happens, real bad shit happens, I know there's nobody that's going to be standing over the doctor saying, nope, take all these measures to save his life. Do everything that you possibly can. We'll worry about the money later, And I just don't want to, I don't want to be put in that situation because I know I could be victimized. I'm sorry, I've been victimized once already in life, more than once by several different things. So it's given me a bit of a leeriness about people with certain amounts of authority, especially over my body, possibly taking things out of me that I need. Like, you know what? I don't have two hearts. You can't have the one that I've got. I'm still using it. Same with my lungs. You definitely don't want those. I smoke like a freaking freight train. I mean, if you could scrape all that crap out and still think they're usable.
But yes, my mom worked at Morton, worked at a hospital for over 25 years. Morton Plant Hospital. Okay. Huh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Nate?
Hi, Nate.
So, Tamara, how are you doing today? Tamara is somebody that I met on or Skipper's last live that I was on with him. So, please welcome them in. They're here for the kiddies. We'll have to make them laugh so they like to stay. Here we go. Fitness app. Strava gives away the location of Biden, Trump, and other leaders, a French newspaper claims. Isn't that interesting?
It's almost like apps have built-in ways to track people.
Yeah,
and we should trust them. Kitty in the face.
Tiny?
Hello.
This is not the Tiny Show.
Hello.
Like the hell it isn't.
I come up there, maybe you come home with me. Better watch it.
Are you calm now? Are you happy now? Okay, somebody's being laid on because I can hear him crying. Fluffy, are you squishing someone?
Flat cat.
No. Oh, nope, there it is. I'm here, guys. Well, if you're not comfortable, then move. These two were being laid on by Kendrick. There. Now there's enough lap for you. And then he gets down. You little asshole.
Don't you worry, Chris. When I get over there, I'm going to be taking at least one cat off your hands. I need a new friend for my cats, Leo and Penny.
Well, they're friendly with other animals, so if they can hang out with the possum and I mean, they were good with the raccoon until the raccoon went fucking nuts. then they were just kind of like, "What the hell's wrong with this dude?"
Mm-hmm. It's like watching your drinking buddy at the bar suddenly spaz out and try and murder everybody for just no
Yeah.
apparent reason.
Yeah, I felt bad that I had to break out the pew pew and end the raccoon, but he was not in his right mind.
Such is life.
Nate said, "Hey guys," and I'm just agreeing with the organ harvesting. Yeah.
Happy birthday,
You know,
Tamara.
oh, happy birthday! Why did I not get that? Hold on, let me pull up my regular chat here, because apparently I'm not getting stuff here.
I've got YouTube chat floating over Rumble Studio, so I've got it popped out. But I'm sitting at a PC, so which explains also why my camera is crap. I bought the cheapest camera.
Oh, there we
I
go.
could get on
It's up
Walmart.
now. It's just my chat's slow on there. Happy belated birthday, Tamara. I hope you had a great birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your mother's caregiver called in sick. That seems to happen a lot lately. My mom worked in home health care. Sadly, the lady that she took care of has passed. But so she's actually taking a break at the moment from home health care. That it hit her hard when she passed. Good morning, Jamie. How are you? I had to
Hey,
kick you out
Jamie.
of the I had to kick you out of the movie room this morning. I'm sorry. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the movie room closes. But yeah, the state of home health care in this country right now is appalling.
The
The
state
amount
of
of
health care in this country is appalling.
I'm not going to disagree. It took me forever to find a good team that I trust. And I've been with all of these doctors for 10 plus years now. Because I'm under the thing of when you find a good doctor, you stay with that doctor because you're not going to probably find another good doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot you were in there? No problem. That's what it's there for. I put stuff on so it lasts all night so that way you guys have something to do if you can't sleep. But the amount of abuse um, I still believe that. Okay, so I can't get into too much personal details here, but I can say that the lady that mom took care of ended up having a stroke, a really bad stroke, which surprised us all because she was doing really, really well. And so it caught us off guard. I mean, mom was there working with her. They were actually walking when it happened. And I still say it had something to do with mom had gone in to take care of some paperwork because she basically ran the household. Okay. She's the one that did all the scheduling for all the people that came into the house. She's the one that trained everybody how the stuff was done in the house, that sort of thing. And she was over there, and the girl that was working at the time was bringing her back from the bathroom, and mom said that all she heard was the lady fall into the chair and yell, "That hurt." And I still say that that's what caused the blood clot that caused the stroke, was her falling into that chair in that jarring motion. Um, but they can't prove it. The family didn't want to do an autopsy for it. So, but the police, it was that bad that the police were actually calling the family and stuff to see if they wanted to press charges against the girl for elderly abuse. So let me reiterate something. At least here in Pennsylvania, if you work in home health care and you see somebody being abusive to somebody elderly or mentally deficient that they're taking care of, you are required by law to report that. If you don't, you are an accomplice by the state of Pennsylvania and you can be charged along with them.
Mm-hmm.
So just letting you heads up there for anybody, in that position in Pennsylvania. Make sure you're watching your P's and Q's and dotting your I's and crossing your T's, because that's not something you want to be charged with, because you will not work in the state of Pennsylvania in healthcare again, and possibly you will get a very, very big fine and jail time out of it. Tamara says, my mom has a great team with maybe one exception, different healthcare system here. Unfortunately, my mom's mobility is limited. She has multiple symptom atrophy. It's a step up from Parkinson's. I'm sorry to hear that, Tamara. I will put her on our prayer list. Our group has a really good prayer network. So we will definitely keep you all in our prayers. Yeah, I know a couple people with Parkinson's. It can be a really devastating disease, and if you're saying that's a step up from Parkinson's, I can't even imagine. Where's Dave? We got our kitty MMA going.
Mm-hmm. Three-way
Uh,
battle.
Well, Calico one's like, I'm out. So,
What healthcare system are you working with, Tamara?
she's up
If
in
you
Canada.
want to disclose. Oh, she's up in Canada.
Yeah. I believe you're in Canada, right, Tamara? She's got the Canadian flag by her name. But yeah, I'm glad that she has a good team. Hopefully they can get that one person exchanged for a better person. But yeah, it's amazing the difference it makes once you finally find good doctors. You know, I'm going to go into some personal history here because I don't care. I share with you all. I'm an open book. You all know that. But when I first started having my issues, we didn't know exactly what all it was. We didn't know back then that it was an extreme case of degenerative disc and joint disease. The doctors were still trying to figure it all out. And I was actually going up to Penn State Hershey Medical Center, which is supposed to be an elite hospital for orthopedics. And I ended up with a guy named Dr. Black. If you live in Pennsylvania, do not go see him. He's a piece of shit. And I understand why he had a shiner the last day that I saw him. And no, unfortunately, I did not give it to him. But they had messed up giving me a Synvisc shot, which traumatized me. I will not lie. Yeah, sorry. But
Squirrel.
ended up causing me even more pain. Well, I just had a flashback. Sorry. But at the end of everything, he looked at me and he said, "You know what?" He said, "You're just going to have to learn to live with it." And I looked at him and I said, "Are you fucking crazy?" I said, "I can't work." I said, "I can barely fucking walk." I said, and you're telling me I have to just learn to live with it? He's like, yep. I said, you're a fucking moron. And that's the last time I ever went to that doctor's office. And I came home, and I'll be honest with you, I sulked. I went into a really bad place at that point because what do you do with that? You know, what do you do with that information? Your orthopedic surgeon just told you that he doesn't believe there's a way to fix your issue. And a couple of
Second
months
opinion.
later, well, a couple months later, Lori calls me and she says, "Hey," she said, "I found a doctor I want you to go check out." And I said, "Well," I said, "I'll think about it." She said, "Well," she said, I've read the reviews on him. I've talked to a couple of people who have used him. They say he's really good." And I said, "Well, okay, fine." She said, "Good. I already made an appointment anyway." I was like, "Son of a bitch." Uh, I do miss her some days, but yeah. So
The keeper.
we ended up, huh?
I said you should, Lori, the keeper.
Well,
In my eyes.
it wasn't my decision. So, but I ended up going and meeting with Dr. Becker, and it's really bad when your new doctor's first words after looking at your chart and checking you out is, "What the what the hell were they treating you for?" And I looked at him and I said, "I don't know. That's why I'm here." And he said, "Well," he said, "it's a good thing you're not with them anymore." And so now this doctor had figured out the first problem, which was that my kneecap was not tracking right. All right. There's a police officer coming past here. Um, but so they did a patellar release on my right knee, got my kneecap back in place. And I will tell you what, I was walking a 5K within 3 months after having that surgery done. Um, we would go up to Mount Gretna to the walking path, and we would walk a 5K at least 2 or 3 times a week. What is your problem? Leave them alone. All right, I gotta teach you a lesson. Bad. And she's still swatting at the poor kitten as I'm holding her head.
Then put it down. Make her get down.
Yeah, if you're not going to behave, you get down. Okay. So then I had two meniscus tears on that same knee, so I had to end up having 2 more surgeries on the knee. And then eventually it got that bad that we ended up just doing the knee replacement. After the second knee replacement and the first hip, I was in there for a follow-up on the hip replacement on my right hip. And I had told the doctor, I said, "I'm going to be honest with you." I said, "The left hip's going to need to be done soon." And he looked at his nurse and said, "Get him, if he needs, when he calls," he said, "just schedule him for surgery."
Mm-hmm.
And the nurse said, "Well, don't we have to do this, this, and this?" And he said, "No." He said, "If Chris comes in here and tells me something needs done at this point, it gets done. He's never given me a reason not to trust him." He said, "And the testing doesn't, my testing doesn't come back showing anything. They did MRIs, they've done CAT scans, they've done all kinds of this shit, and nothing ever shows up in the testing." So he's like, I'm not going to make him go through all that and wait when we can just do the surgery and fix it. So, and that's the rapport that I have with all of my doctors at this point. I've never given them any issues. I've never lied to them about stuff. I've never abused medications. And so, um, like my pain management now, I don't have to go in every month like I was with the pain management specialist. I go in every 6 months, and I only have to piss test once a year. Something big is going on. We gotta go see what it is.
Uh-oh.
I hear lots of sirens.
We can't hear them.
Well, we might go look and see. Oh no.
Car accident?
Yes, right down from my house.
Oh, Lord.
Vehicle accident with entrapment.
Oh. Ooh.
Start praying.
And they're sending out 2 medics, not even ambulances. They're sending out medics. That's bad.
Start praying.
I smell bacon.
Yes, you do.
Bacon.
Really, now you two are going to start? Well, here. They might as well be entertained by you.
Oh.
So, you started it. Why are you crying now? The black and white one always starts it and then ends up crying when it gets its ass beat. Okay, don't bite the face. No biting the face.
Future Democrat voter right there. He can dish it out, but he can't take it.
Right?
Uh-oh. Cora's getting the gloves on.
You're going to fall on your head here, dude.
Jalapeno poppers today.
Woo! Yeah, you don't
Why
want
are
to
you
get that shit
bothering
in
with
your...
gloves?
You don't want to get that shit in your hands and rub your eyes or something. That ends very badly.
I usually
Yes,
suck my
it
fingers.
does.
Usually suck my fingers.
Well-
That stuff doesn't bug me.
Well, you can still suck the fingers with the gloves on.
Well, yeah, but then you taste rubber. I guess it's just I spent 15 years I spent in California. I was basically handling peppers after like a year living there. So I'm so used to having capsaicin on my hands in various levels of heat that I'm just like.
We used to grow our own habaneros. And my brother thought he was going to be this big shot, tough guy. And he walks down, he grabs a habanero, and he grabs a tiny one, thankfully. It was only about that big. About an inch round, And he throws the entire thing in his mouth and starts chomping.
I hear the squeaking.
Yeah. But, yeah, he starts walking up, chomping on the thing. Next thing you know, he can't breathe. He's laying on the freaking ground, rolling around, gasping for breath. I'm laughing at him. Mom's yelling at me. It was a great time.
See, you don't grab the tiny ones. You grab the big, fat ones. The more tiny and shriveled they are, the more concentrated that shit is. When they're nice
morning,
and big and
Andrea.
plump, they have a lot more water in them. Oh, hey, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Jamie said she's on her way over, Cora.
Yeah,
All right,
prayers,
Jamie,
Nate,
come on.
definitely. Prayers, Nate, definitely. Watch out for that electricity. Don't have yourself a shocking experience and go meeting Jesus before the rest of us.
Stay blessed, Nate.
Remember, anything over 110 will throw you away. 110 and under will make you grab a hold and will not let you go. Just little information there for people who don't play with electricity very much.
I don't play with
But be
electric.
safe. Have a great day, Nate. Now, you get into the big lines, the ones that transfer like 18,000 volts of electricity. Not only will they throw you, but they will like roast you before they throw you. So, yeah, you don't want to touch those.
Yeah, it's a good way to get cooked.
No steel toes, and make sure you wear your protective equipment, gloves, and
Yep,
whatever shields they give you.
felt hat too. That's what they used to wear in the old days, is a felt hat because it was non-conductive.
You don't want anything that can create sparks.
How about
Alright,
just leave it alone?
Well, some people have to work with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting money for it. I think the little black and white one should be named Cream Puff. That's a perfect fitting name for him. He's the little cream puff. He starts crap, but he can't take it.
Obama and Springsteen were in Philadelphia campaigning for Kamala Harris. Who cares? Why do they waste their time in cities they know they're going to win?
Because it's
Pennsylvania's
safer for
supposed to be a swing state, so they're going to be in there.
But Philadelphia is not a swing city. Trust me. I'm no.
It's all optics. If they don't go into any risky areas, then it doesn't look like they're losing.
Right.
No, it's all about propaganda, and that's one of the basic tenets of propaganda. Go to the places where you already have support, and work in there, so it looks like the enthusiasm is greater than it really is.
Hey, did you see her at the church and her accent?
That woman.
She got heckled
And
bad.
then she went to the bar to have a beer.
Yeah, and that was all
afterwards.
staged.
Yep.
And that was all staged.
Don't you think she should have went to the bar first and then to church for repentance?
No, she went to the
No,
bar
but she
church,
doesn't
then she
care.
went to church, then she went back to the bar. That woman
Oh.
drinks like a freaking fish. Nancy Pelosi has indoctrinated her into the Church of Hennessy. That and cocaine. I swear that all that stuff in the White House, that white stuff they found in the White House, I swear that was Kamala's personal stash, and that was just her weekly needs.
Good morning, Dave. Dave said, "Good morning. Sorry, busy with animals, Chris and Ray this morning."
Hey,
Nothing
Dave.
to be sorry
Good to
for,
see you,
bud.
buddy.
You do what
Yeah.
you got to take care of, pal. We're
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We love you. You know that.
Don't
Morning,
mind us.
Dave.
Free and fair elections. Remember this, right? Free and fair elections. If you haven't seen the shit going on here in Lancaster County, I shared a video, I believe. I might have forgot to share that. I'll make sure I double check. But here in Lancaster County, they got caught trying to push through a bunch of illegal ballot voter registrations right before the deadline.
Really?
Thousands of them.
That surprises you. Why? You're in Pennsylvania.
Well, it doesn't surprise me, but I'm glad they caught it. Now, up in Oregon and Washington, fires set in drop boxes destroy hundreds of ballots in Washington and damage 3 in Oregon. So the shenanigans are already fucking going on, people. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I just expect it to get worse. Mind you, torching ballot drop boxes is more likely to hurt Democrats than it is Republicans at this point, because most of the people who will vote. Go ahead, Cora.
I think the Republicans will go vote on the 5th or have already voted at their election headquarters.
I was about to say basically exactly that. That most Republicans, most conservatives, or just people who don't like Kamala Harris, if they're going to vote, they already have the feeling that those drop boxes are not secure, so they're going to go vote somewhere else. They're going to vote in person if they can, or if they have to do a mail-in ballot.
Drop boxes should be illegal.
Yeah, they really should, because they're completely unsecured, and this just proves exactly why. Now, I'm pretty
But
sure
we'll
that the
watch it with the
majority,
camera. That secures it. No, it fucking doesn't, because look what they're doing. They're setting them on fire, you fucking morons.
I forget what state it is
Not
with
calling you a
Democrats.
moron.
Ooh,
Yeah,
all them F-bombs.
I have to
But
make up for yesterday. I
one
behaved
of the
yesterday.
yeah, one of the states, the Democratic Party of that state, is actually suing to get the cameras removed from the drop boxes
That
because
doesn't
they're saying
surprise
it's
me either.
intimidating voters.
Why? People are on camera every fucking day, all over the world. Doesn't matter where you are. What the hell does it matter if you're fucking dropping something into a Dropbox or a mailbox?
Right.
Mhm.
That
So,
makes no sense to me.
oh no, it makes perfect sense. See, if they get the camera shut off, they can dump a giant package of ballots in there without
Oh no, I
anybody
get
looking.
that part. I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
the argument of the cameras intimidating
Chubs,
people
no.
makes sense. Okay, so today, back in 1929, it was called Black Tuesday. It signals the start of the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when the
If-
stock market crashed.
If Kamala
Bad.
Harris gets in, we're
Move.
going to go to a second Great Depression, I believe.
We're
It'll be
already
worse than
technically
that.
in one. Already technically
Yeah.
in one.
Yeah, but they're
In
not going to say that.
1618, Sir Walter Raleigh executed in London. 1998, John Glenn returned to space. In 2012, Superstorm Sandy was slamming New Jersey. Isn't that always fun?
Oh
That
yeah.
was a good time.
It's also the last time Chris Christie ever got that
Laid.
kind of action. I was going to say winds do blow very hard with that storm. I think it's the last time Chris
Krispy
Christie
Kreme.
got himself any action.
Krispy Kreme probably
Yeah.
got rolled down the fucking beach with all that wind.
Mm-hmm.
1940, blindfolded Secretary of War Henry L. Stimson drew the first number 158 from a glass bowl in America's first peacetime military draft. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just thought I'd throw out some history stuff.
Universal service used to be a thing. Just literally from, I won't say completely ancient times to present, but nearly universal service has been a thing since civilization started having a capital C next to it. Not just because, you have to be ready to fight, but also because when doing military stuff meant more than grabbing a bunch of your buddies, grabbing some horses, grabbing some carriages, and going off and pillaging the French, just because they exist, and nobody likes the French, apparently. Universal service has been a thing because there has always been a need to at least teach basic discipline to the citizenry. Some countries did it better than others. Some countries still do it better than others. But there's always been some kind of an overarching desire to keep most of the populace at least basically trained. So in the event of an emergency, such as the invasion of your little principality or kingdom or whatever, you can literally roust every able-bodied male, get them a pike or a musket or whatever the fancy weapon of the day is, put them on the front lines and expect them to have some idea of what they're doing. I back the concept of making universal service completely available, especially to high school kids. There are certain school districts that force kids to do community service before they're allowed to graduate.
I'll be back.
Okay. I don't agree with forcing community service on kids, especially because a lot of that community service goes to very particular political causes, let's say, or it's slanted that way. Or, there's just a lot of difficulties that go along with it. However, I believe it should be made available to high school kids going from junior to senior or recently graduated seniors to be able to engage in something that is nonpartisan, government sponsored. You just provide the labor. The government provides whatever else, and does some kind of service work for the country, whether that
So like
be
Peace Corps or something.
something like the Peace Corps, something like, but focused entirely on the United
Basically, like the
States.
Job Corps is what
Yeah.
they had it, what they called it in the United States for the longest time.
But it would be something focused on, like,
Is that
okay,
even still around?
you broke
Is the
up.
Job Corps even still around?
I don't know. But my example would be, look at all the damage from Hurricane Helene. Well, if we had this program in place, you could volunteer to go there and, for college credit or whatever basic remuneration you get outside of room and board, go there, you distribute blankets, you distribute food,
They can
just
learn how to do carpentry and help build stuff.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yes. Teach some
I have no
basic
problem
skills,
with that.
learn some basic
I
things.
would rather our tax dollars go to fucking doing that than fucking shelling Europe and Middle East.
But it should be on an entirely voluntary basis. And then we encourage colleges to give them, college credit or maybe a discount or something if they can prove that they did 2 years of this or 2 summers, basically. And maybe they want to make it a career. Maybe they want to become a permanent part of this organization. Find them employment. Okay, you're learning skills in carpentry. You want to go and, learn officially to do carpentry? Well, we'll send you to school to do that, but you got to come back and work for us for 4 years. Kind of like how the military does it, but in a slightly different way. The point being is that we get the youth involved with building up this country purely on a voluntary basis, but then encourage them to do it. Push full court press when it comes to, and I won't say propaganda, but advertising. Do something good for your community. Learn a skill in the process, and learn a real skill, not just, sit around and play on your phone all day, but learn a real skill, learn what it means to help people. And, it would be just another peg to put into the wall to help rebuild culture, And I was talking about that yesterday morning, about how culture has fallen away so badly in this country. But I support having a program like that. If they're doing it between junior and senior year, maybe give them a course credit so they can take a study hall instead of having to worry about yet another class. I don't know what, like a humanities credit or a health credit or something along those lines. Hell, you could even count it as a gym credit if they're doing carpentry or basic plumbing or digging trenches. Shit, that's physical. They got their year's worth of physical education during the summer doing that stuff. Go ahead and give them credit for that so they don't have to take gym if they don't want to. Gym these days is a freaking joke. You don't get to play dodgeball. You don't get to play any of the fun games. You just, let's run.
Hey,
okay, let's do some.
Dodgeball was character building.
Heck yes. I only got to play it 2 times in junior high school before, we'll call him Little Jimmy because that's just a default name. Little Jimmy's mom got upset and I was the one that did it. I overhanded the ball like that. Mind you, I was trying to pass it to him because we were on the same side. So I was trying to pass him the ball as he was at the other end of the play field. I was trying to pass him the ball because he had a clear shot. Well, he turned at the wrong moment, and instead of having his hands up, they were down because he was expecting me to underhand the ball because I usually underhand it. I said, "Little Jimmy, catch it." And I hiked it to him like that, and it right in the face, knocked him flat on the ground like he'd been bowled over. And he was fine. I mean, he bounced right back up. He didn't start crying or anything. I didn't bloody his nose. It was just he didn't expect it, and he fell backwards. And my teacher said, "Well, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody score their own side." Because gym teachers back then actually had balls to not treat us like little Marines, but they certainly treated us a little more harshly than they do today. And I kind of got clowned on it, rightfully so. I fessed up. It was my fault. I'd done a bad.
Shame on you, Cal.
Yeah, shame on me. But little Jimmy's mom heard what happened.
I can beat that one. Not taking out my own side, but there was a kid that pissed me off, and it was his own fault. I wasn't aiming for them, but he took a volleyball to the nuts.
You got him in little Jimmy's.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no little. Yeah.
I faked like I would, because I can palm a volleyball. Okay. So I faked I was throwing the ball. He thought he was being cute. He jumped up, and when I actually did throw the ball, he jumped up and kind of did the split in the air
Mm-hmm.
right into the throw. And
that'll tag the tea bags right there.
as it wasn't intentional. I still laughed like hell.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we even had fun with poor Jimmy getting flattened, but no, his mom heard about it, and she was one of those. Oh, my precious little Jimmy, no harm better come to him. And she reamed the principal, and she reamed the gym teacher, mostly because the gym teacher literally told him to walk it off, and he was fine.
It's parents like that are ruining our country.
Yeah, well, she went the full route too. I mean, she took him to the ER. She had them scan his brain, and she was saying, "Oh, I'm going to sue the school if he got a concussion," and she just basically raised hell. And after that, we weren't allowed to
Karen.
We weren't allowed to play dodgeball anymore. I think it was like 93, 92, something like that. But she was just terrible. And when it came time, we were scheduled to do dodgeball the next time, was about 2 weeks later. Mind you, us kids hadn't heard about any of this. And the only class I had with little Jimmy was gym, so I didn't get to see him. I didn't know what was going on. And we get to the gym, and we're all sitting.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news. This is actually good.
Oh, good.
Because you know that we have American citizens who are investing in Chinese military, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
That should be
Not
fucking
surprised.
illegal. First of all, why are you helping an adversarial government against our own government and our own people?
Mm-hmm.
That pisses me off. Sorry.
But it's the same as them buying land here, but go ahead.
Treasury issues rule to block U.S. investors from helping China develop advanced military technology.
Oh, there we go.
So it only took them fucking how long to do it, but So
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now we need to block the Chinese from buying land in the United States, especially like suspiciously close to U.S. military bases.
Yes, I agree with that as well. They need to take in, governors need to take a hint from Sarah Huckabee Sanders down in Arkansas and say, nope, you have such and such time. You need to either sell the land or we are confiscating it from you and you don't get any money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I guess they have to give them market value, I guess, for it at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could argue that they really don't have to because it's a foreign power. Therefore, they shouldn't really get our constitutional and legal protections. And, we should just be able to under civilized
illegal people come here should not be the Constitution should not apply to them. They are not American citizens. They are not invited here.
But this would also be a perfect reason for the state to use civil asset forfeiture. We can't prove that you're spying on our military bases, but we suspect you are, and under civil asset forfeiture, that's all we have to say. Boom, we have civil asset forfeiture to property. And we will now auction it off to only people who live within the state of Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Texas, whatever. Only people that live in this particular state. And then the state will reap the benefits of getting all this money, and maybe we give them a tax credit to develop it a certain way or leave it as plains or swamp or whatever, because we do that to preserve certain sections of nature without having to declare it a national park or whatever. Just here's the subsidy, just don't do anything with that land. Here's $10,000 a year or whatever.
Yes, Andrea, there are especially the NBA, there are NBA owners who are heavily invested in the Chinese military. That's
Yeah.
why they will not offend the Chinese. They will bend the knee to them. And when one person did call out the atrocities going over in China, Enos Cantor Freedom is what he changed his name to once he actually came here to play basketball, became an American citizen. When he became an American citizen, he actually changed his name to Enos Cantor Freedom because he loves the country so much. And he was blackballed and kicked out of the league because of it. So, because he was costing the NBA money in China.
That's why I'm not a fan of John Cena anymore. He slipped up
Yeah.
and said the word Taiwan once. So
Yeah.
the very next
They
thing he
they
did
said
was
Taiwan
basically,
was a country, was what he
yeah,
said.
well, something along those lines. It really actually wasn't that offensive, even by Chinese
No.
standards, but it was close enough that literally the next thing he did was him reciting an apology in fucking Chinese. And he basically unzipped and imitated a Hoover vacuum. After that point, John Cena was fucking dead to me. If you're gonna roll over, if you're gonna first of all, if you're gonna present yourself as a true American, a successor essentially to the Americana vibe of Hulk Hogan, and say, I am for veterans, I am for this, I am for that, and then turn around and play Hoover vacuum with Winnie the Pooh. No, fuck you. You've just outed yourself as a fucking traitor. And honestly, if it was up to me, you'd be swinging from the nearest tree for that. I have a very low tolerance for traitors. And he literally proved himself one. Now, if he had really wanted to, he could have made himself an American fucking darling by just saying, no, you know what? I'm going to double down on that. And I'm actually going to say Taiwan deserves to be a free and fair country all on its own. And we should give it full recognition. He would have overnight had so many Americans saying, yes, thank you. Thank you for actually saying that. Now watch us buy your merch. Just, maybe not get it made in China, maybe get it made in Bangladesh or India from now on. But watch us buy your merch, because just proving yourself to be a true American that will not roll over for Mr. I Love Honey.
Who was I talking to? Somebody. I was watching Worrell. Worrell has issues with saying Xi Jinping. And I told him, I said, just call him Winnie the Pooh.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah, he called
Comrade Chairman Xi Jinping.
But all right, so to wrap up here, say hi to Spawn. Spawn Trooper is another content creator here on YouTube that I had the pleasure of meeting on Skipper's live stream that I was on. Your guest needs a hug from me. Well,
I appreciate the offer. Maybe after dinner and a movie.
If you're not busy it'd be 9 p.m. your time, I believe. Spawn, you're welcome to join me. Join us on up here, and bullshit with us. He's a new content creator. So let's do this. Open up that storm.
Phenomena. Phenomena.
There you go.
Okay, but I get to pick the movie. What? I have my terms, okay? I'm not a cheap date.
So there's Spawn's link for his channel. Go over, check him out. He does he's funny. He is a British veteran. Am I right, Spawn?
Oh.
Oh no, that's not good. Hold on. I gotta look. I know that sound. They're bringing Lifeline in to get those people out of that car.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Oh no, that's from Philly. That's not the right plane. Let me see. Maybe Lifeline's busy, so they're bringing somebody up from Philly. I'm gonna follow it here. I have. Make sure y'all can see it right. I have an app where I can follow airplanes, military planes. Some show up, some don't. Depends on what they're doing. When the A-10 Warthogs go over, they never show up. But some helicopters, the C-130s, the Super Galaxies, all that stuff shows up. If you're interested, I will tell you the link for that. For naval stuff. I know I have to wake that up. I will call you back. And she calls me to hold on. There. I had my headset hooked to both phones and it messed me up there. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Son of a, it disconnected me from there. Okay. Well, I might as well just take these off then.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's wrap up so you can handle your business over there.
But anyway, yeah. So, the last thing I was going to talk to was I was going to ask you all, what are your thoughts on candy corn? Because
I
Halloween.
love I love that shit.
You love it? I'm not a big fan.
God,
of it.
yeah.
Well, thank you for your service, Spawn. Spawn said he's 30 years, both regular and Army Reserve. So we appreciate it. Usually any kinetic aircraft don't show up unless I think they're in operational theater. In peacetime, they should be squawking. There's 3 cats. There's one little kitty, Fluff Ball. Two kitty fluff balls. And 3. He's like, fuck it, I'll just jump on my own.
All right, everybody. Y'all take care. See you later.
Andrew says, sweet as heck, rot your teeth candy. So, yeah, I usually, I'm on from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. In the morning, and then I do another show for from 4 to 6 p.m. So Eastern time. So if you're interested, Spawn, let me know, and I will work out getting you a link to come hang out with us. So, but thank you all for being here. I appreciate you, and we will see you this afternoon. Love you guys.
Bye.
Peace. We're out. We'll talk to you later. Thank you again.